guys, welcome back to the show. If you have ever finished a meal and suddenly looked like maybe you're 6 months pregnant, or you feel like you've swallowed a basketball, or you just have quietly accepted that bloated is your default state, then this episode is for you. Because here's the thing that nobody is going to tell you: bloating isn't just annoying, and it's not an annoying inconvenience. It's your body's version of a check engine light. And today we're going to decode what it's actually saying instead of just sucking it in and moving on with your day. I'm Wendy, and welcome to Every Symptom Has a Story. So let's get right into it. First, let's talk about why so many people have learned to just live with this. Bloating has been really very normalized. And I hear this a lot that, oh, it's just what happens when you eat. That we stop treating it like information and we start treating it almost like an identity because your gut really doesn't randomly decide to blow up like a balloon for no apparent reason whatsoever. The question is whether you're curious enough to go looking for the reasons, right? And I used to be the queen of let's just deal with it. I'd change into sweatpants or leggings after dinner to avoid those certain outfits or, certain days. And it wasn't until I hit real burnout that I realized that bloating really wasn't one of a maybe dozen signals that my body had been sending me for years that I trained myself to ignore. And so let's get practical here for a minute. Most of the common reasons behind your chronic bloating, and I want you to really listen for which one sounds like you. So, number one, you're eating too fast. This one almost sounds like too simple, but digestion starts when you put the food in your mouth and you start chewing, and you swallow more air when you're eating fast, which skips the mechanical breakdown of your stomach acid that's needed to process that food. So I want you to try this. Put down your fork between bites for just one meal today and just notice the difference. All right, number two is low stomach acid. And a lot of times people think that it's too much stomach acid when it's really too little. And reflux means you have too much acid. But a huge number of cases are actually the opposite. And without enough stomach acid, food is going to sit there, it's going to ferment instead of breaking down properly. And that fermentation is what creates the gas of the bloat. So, number three is food sensitivities. You may have identified them, maybe not. And I'm not talking about allergies because those are anaphylactic allergies are very different than sensitivities. But some of the common triggers like dairy, gluten, and even some healthy foods like certain FODMAPs, onions, garlic, for example, some certain fruits can be very quietly triggering inflammation and bloating in your gut without you even connecting the dots. Because the reaction can show up hours later, sometimes days. And then number four, stress. I know. Everything that I talk about comes back to stress, right? But your gut and your nervous system are directly wired together through the vagus nerve. And when you're stressed, digestion straight up slows down or it gets disrupted because your body is prioritizing fight or flight mode and not rest and digest. Then number five is hormonal fluctuations. And if your bloating kind of tracks with your cycle, that's not a coincidence because estrogen and progesterone directly affect water retention and gut motility. So we're going to go deeper on this exact topic in a couple of episodes. So keep an ear out for that. So what do you think you do with all of this? Here's where I want you to start. I don't want you to do a total overhaul. That's just too much. Just one shift. Start with a simple symptom food log for 1 week. And I don't, nothing fancy, just jot down what you ate and how you felt maybe an hour later. And again, before you went to bed, because patterns will show up faster than you think. Slow down your eating. If you literally have to set a timer to do it, aim for about 20 minutes per meal. And then if you suspect that it might be low stomach acid, something as simple as a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water before meals can help some people. Even though those symptoms are severe or persistent, this is absolutely worth bringing to your functional medicine practitioner rather than guessing on your own. And genuinely, work on your stress response. We can't eliminate stress, it's impossible, but we can work on how we respond to it. So even 2 minutes of deep breathing before meals shifts your body from that fight or flight into rest and digest mode. And that alone changes how you digest and how well you digest. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. Your bloating is not random, and it isn't something that you have to live with forever. It's simply data. And once you start treating your symptoms and as that data instead of just annoyances, then everything will change because you're actually solving the puzzle and not just tolerating the symptoms. So, if this episode helped you and your body a little differently, I'd love if you left a quick rating below or just a comment. It genuinely helps me to hear if this is resonating and also reach more people that do need to hear it. And if you're listening to this thinking, okay, but I need help figuring my specific signals, that's exactly what I do 101. So go ahead and book a discovery call. The link's in the show notes below, or you can head over to wendyhandy.com and book a call there. And let's get to the root of what your body's been trying to tell you. Now, next week, we're going to dive on one specific mineral that might be the missing piece behind your fatigue, your sleep, and yup, even your bloating. You're not going to want to miss it. So until then, I'm Wendy Handy from Wendy Handy Wellness, and I'll see you next time.